Pay no attention to that hair behind the curtain. Is my hair messy? Lionel messy? You guys. My favorite concealers 2022. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca and I'm doing concealers for you. This may be a little bit all over the place in terms of drugstore high-end. Do I like them? Maybe I forgot I had them. Did I barely use them? Did I forget to show you originally and never review them? So it's after 4:30 or it's about 4:30. It's been dark for so long. Everything lighting wise right now is just strange. So I'm going to say that. I am trying my very best to just kind of not look too overexposed and so you can actually see product in its true form, but wow, maybe I need to do that. Let's start with high-end concealers. Okay, so the one size concealer I tried this year, and I think I tried it this year. It's really good. Okay, I have shade Light 4. Now, I absolutely love the powder foundation. So is this as good? I don't know. I barely reached for it. So maybe that's what I'm going to do, is I'm telling you which concealers were actually pretty good. I just didn't reach for them. And I also feel like this shade just feels so yellow. But this was a very self-setting. I thought that this was a lot of product. Like it just, you know, so I liked it in the summer when my skin was very emollient. I didn't have to powder it, and then I didn't have to make it feel more cakey, if that is sort of a good explanation. Something that is very good, did this come out last year or this year? I think this came out this year. The Lancome Teint Idole. This is that they discontinued the one and then they brought this to replace it. It is phenomenal. It is a fabulous concealer. Look at that doe foot. This is a very good, you will not lose this concealer. Like this concealer does it all. It is very concealing, but it doesn't crease and it wears really well. I wouldn't say it's hydrating, but you've got to prep. So I like this a lot. Now, I also liked this one a lot too, the Charlotte Tilbury. It is a radiant concealer. It does conceal very well and it does wear very well. And it's pretty good if you have a dry under eye. It's a higher price tag, you know, it's in the $30 range. So I just feel like I can do better. I just think that there's some out there that I like better. But I did like this. I got shade 5. This ran really pale. And then this one, the Lancome was Buff N. And so it's kind of funny. The Patrick Star, the one size, I just feel like it got so, it almost oxidized. Maybe that was my kind of drawback. So the Charlotte Tilbury is very yellow. I just remember the shades were running really pale. I think I watched a lot of other YouTubers' reviews before I bought mine and then I based. But that's okay, right? So two that really just did not get much attention from me, but I think people loved them for different reasons. So one was the Milk. And this was very good. The doe foot is so unique. It a little goes a long way. It's not too yellow and I like it. I like it. But I didn't test it enough to know, is this one that's just going to wear all over and just do a really good job? Stephanie Marie loves this concealer. It is a good concealer. It is. I wanted to point something out to you as well, is sometimes concealers are very deceptive because if they're in the $20 or $30 range, and you think you're going to avoid it and go for a drugstore concealer, but the drugstore concealers can be anywhere from $10 to like $17. So look at the ounces that you're getting and make sure that price per ounce is actually a reasonable breakdown, because I remember last year's Dior Addict, you got a lot of concealer in that tube. So it was very cost effective to get that versus Neutrogena concealer is like $17. What the heck? Speaking of Dior, this Backstage concealer. Oh, I wanted to love it, and I did like it. So it says Flash Perfecting Concealer. I have shade 2CR. The fun thing about this product is I really do think it's like a makeup artist's concealer. It's not too heavy, it's not too cakey, and you can throw it all over areas of the face. It doesn't have to just be under the eye. It's buildable. It's not full coverage right out the gate. So it really just depends on what you need for coverage. And it does have the little brush on there, which I never use anyway. So this is, you can see kind of how I mean, it's very nice. It's very nice. Okay, let's put this on. How about that? You guys, I have so much eye cream right now underneath that's my mascara is just, it keeps transferring. So I'm doing this with my fingers because I feel like that's just kind of what I want to do. Wow, what a great reason, Rebecca. Okay, so we are going to do the Dior on this side. Yeah, see, look, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. Now, I gotta say, folks, as it goes to applying concealer this year, the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy A506 brush, it's like a little kitty paw. Love it. Absolutely love it. Also love the BK Beauty 108. And then if you want a very affordable makeup sponge, the e.l.f. concealer sponge is so good. So good. It's soft enough so if you are too lazy like me to not wet it before you're ready to sit down and do your makeup, it's still really nice to just sort of blot product with. And then I am loving this little pocket beauty blender. It has kind of a little rubbery tip that you can use for cream products if you want to. And then I love applying my powder over my concealer, very targeted to keep from creasing. In fact, that's what I'm gonna do right now. So I've just been taking any powder. Lately it's the CoverGirl. What is this? Clean Fresh. In translucent. So there. Okay, well, like I said, I hope that was a good rundown. So all of these are just, they're good, but I almost feel like they're just runners up. And maybe it's because of their price, you know? Like, they're good, but are they great? I think maybe the Lancome is pretty great. Pretty great. So drugstore concealers, there weren't maybe as many launches as the high-end concealer category, but I think there were some winners. So you guys are probably going to figure out which one is my winner. I will share with you a couple though that I really enjoyed and that I do kind of rotate through based on mood, skin behavior, climate, occasion. Okay, I did compare the L'Oreal Infallible. They reformulated this so that it's 24-hour wear. I think they even describe it as waterproof. And I compared it to the Lancome, and a bunch of you were like, it's from the same company. Yes, it is, but no, it isn't. Because in a factory where L'Oreal is produced is a different production process than in a factory where Lancome is produced. I could be wrong. Maybe they're under one roof. Maybe one goes down one aisle and one goes down the other, and then they just slap a label on it. I always picture that Sesame Street or that Electric Company video of when they showed us back like how something is made, and it's just this factory assembly line and stuff is coming out of tubes and on the conveyor belts, and I loved it. So anyway, I think, you know, YSL is owned by L'Oreal or Cosmere or whatever. So there's a lot of companies right now. Cosmetics are pretty much a monopoly between Estee Lauder and like L'Oreal. So has Lauder bought L'Oreal yet, or vice versa? Because you know it's going to happen. So anyway, my point is I find them to be very different products, or at least enough different to merit comparing. And yeah, so I did like this. I remember I got shade 345. It's very pale. It's very pale. It a little goes a long way. It's pretty good. But sometimes L'Oreal, even Lancome maybe, puts a fragrance in their products. So I think maybe that's why I always just go, I don't know. Okay, and then you guys, this one was kind of tricky. Not everybody loved it, but the Maybelline 30 Hour, I really liked this Super Stay Concealer. I thought it was good. So my favorite shade was 15. It just seemed to be not too pale, but it didn't oxidize or look kind of orangey or weird pink under my eyes. But I liked this because I know a lot of people love Fit Me from the Maybelline, and I really like this concealer as a very casual concealer. So it's long wear, but it isn't heavy and it isn't a full coverage. It's kind of more medium. So it's a sporty concealer. And I was really pleased with the way Maybelline came up with the packaging so that you could see it. I just liked it. This product is so good. The JOA Eye Serum Concealer is so good. I just wish it didn't have a scent. It's just slightly fragranced. This is very reminiscent of the number 7. I think it's like Luminous Radiance, Lift and Illuminate. And it has a sponge tip. You know, we usually hate these sponge tips, but JOA did it right. They made it very nice. It's very user-friendly. It doesn't make a mess. It's just a wonderful formula, and it kind of reminds me of the By Terry Radiant Concealer because it has just enough light refraction, just kind of really diffuses darkness, but not a ton of coverage. And with the serum situation with having, you know, peptides and those kinds of ingredients in it, you know, it's not going to replace an eye cream, but it just is really nice in terms of having stuff in there to just boost that under eye area to be, you know, smoother, hydrated. Yeah, I really liked this JOA. And then, I know some people hated this, but I love this Best Skin Ever Full Coverage Concealer from Sephora. It's $15 and you get 0.3 ounces, which I think anytime a concealer is like a third of an ounce, like half ounce, 0.5, gosh, I don't know if there's any concealer on the market out there at 0.5 ounce, but 0.3 is probably the most amount of concealer offered, whether it's a tube or like a vial with a doe foot. I enjoy this a lot. I feel like, for me, I love this giant doe foot. For me, for summertime when it came out and I found it, I love it because I didn't have to set much with it. I just kind of, you know, it had a good coverage, it wore well, and it played nice. And it's only $15. So I just thought it was such a good product. Comes in a ton of shades. You can also wear it other areas of the face, kind of like the Dior Backstage. You know, you can put this on anywhere. Hey, you guys, now, if you've been following my channel, you know, no surprise here, the CoverGirl Simply Ageless. I adore this concealer. I love it. I love that it is moisturizing. I love that it has enough coverage for my under eye area without being too cakey or thick. I love that it blends well, it doesn't crease. Now, don't buy it at Walgreens, it's a lot. It's like $17, buy it at Walmart or Target. So it says, you know, it's got the serum in it, sure, whatever. This one doesn't have a doe foot, it has a ceramic wand. So as much as I love applying concealer to the back of my hand and applying it with a brush to my face, this one kind of gets, sometimes I do that and then sometimes I break that personal rule and apply it this way so that I can get that cooling action of the ceramic tip. And then I just love to put my BK Beauty brush right there. So how we doing on the other side? How we doing? What did I put on here? The Dior? Oh yeah. I mean, this concealer, I want to show you something. Look at me. Do I just look like blurred? Throws Vaseline on her lens like the old days, like Barbara Walters. I just think it's so good. CoverGirl still has not called me, you guys. I need them to call me. I've given them so much free advertising for this product. Yeah, I really, really like it. So I bought a backup, you know, because CoverGirl, Ulta stopped carrying CoverGirl, or at least that's what someone told me. Look at this. I just feel like this whole area has brightened. And I mean, look, Dior, you're doing great, but I don't need you, Dior. I found somebody better that doesn't cost me as much. I will put links below so that you can decide for yourself if you want to take the, you know, plunge on any of these. If you've purchased any of these on my recommendations, then let me know. I love when someone says, I bought that and I love it, because I get so scared. It's like making a dish of something to eat and then you're like, do you like it? And then you're waiting for people to take that bite. It's like every one of you is Paul Hollywood and you're all looking at me going, okay, Rebecca, let's see. Whenever I recommend something, you go buy it. So anyway, okay. So like I said, these were new for me for 2022, and yes, there you go. Thank you. This is fun. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going, finding different things I love in different categories, and I'm gonna try to give you both drugstore and high-end options. So there you are. All right, thank you so much. Subscribe, that'd be great. You know, give a girl a happy holidays by subscribing, tell your friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye.